Oh, wow, my burden's getting lighter. You know what? My burden's getting lighter. But you know what? I seem more religious, though, if I go ahead and have a little burden. Don't I appear a little more pious and a little more spiritual when I'm carrying a burden? Yeah, so maybe I'll keep this burden for a while. But then I see other people's burdens. Wait a minute. How come this person here, their burden, they don't look like they got near a heavy burden? They got a bigger burden than they do. God must love them more than he loves me, because they don't seem to have. Their backpack's not even as big. You know, they've got a burden. I can see it. But it just seems like it doesn't weigh them down like my burden does me. I wonder why that is. They still have a burden though, don't they? This burden here doesn't seem to be as big because it was in a smaller package. But this burden here can be a big one. Anybody know that? Anxiety and worry. Well, you could apply this burden to all of them. This burden here, you might, man, this thing must be filled with mercury or something. This is a heavy burden. I could hardly carry it. It was a smaller bag. You know, when you're looking at somebody else and their burden, you can get the wrong impression. It can look like that they're not going through near as much. And I'm not going to worry about them as much. Or I'm not going to pray for them. They don't look like they've got that big of a burden like I do. But you find out, my goodness, that's a pretty big burden after all, isn't it? I wonder if there's anything else in there. I can't remember. Oh, good. That guy's got a light burden now. Yeah, we might as well look at this one. You know, I don't even know what this one is. It's just hard to identify this. Doesn't seem like much, but I know it's there. And it's still something I'm carrying. There's sometimes you just can't even label what you're going through. But you know you're going through stuff. We might just write stuff on this one. Stuff. Everybody's going through stuff. You know, and that's the reality. Where he says, in 1 Peter 5:10, after you've suffered a little while, now Peter writing to Christians is saying there's going to be periods in your life where you're going to go through, where's the box with no name? Yeah, this one's called stuff, okay? There's going to be times in your life where you're going to go through stuff, okay? And you're going to feel like I'm really suffering. This is terrible. How can I even call myself a Christian after I've went through this? I feel like I've lost my faith and everything. You probably did lose your faith, but your faith didn't matter. It was just positive thinking on steroids. It wasn't real faith anyway. But real faith comes from God, see? And he's just burning out all that dross, and he's bringing you to something that will stabilize you and confirm you. And this is what he says in 1 Peter 5:10. He said, after you've suffered a little while, the God of all grace. That's the God of the New Testament. The God of all grace, who has called you to his eternal glory in Christ, will himself. See, Christianity is not a call to a system. It's a call to a person. The God of all grace will himself restore, confirm, strengthen, and establish you. In other words, he's going to give you his personal attention, and he's going to help you get through it.
The Lord is my light, my salvation. Whom shall